come on, you. Hang on, folks. We are live. You'll see something in a minute. Oh, god damn it. Hang on. Okay, not to do it again. Yeah, sorry folks, if you're kind of wondering why there's a black screen, because there's supposed to be a video to be playing right now, but it's not playing. So, hang on guys. Oh shit, actually. There we go. Alright, boom, boom, and we are live as soon as it transfers to another scene, or unless it crashes. There it goes. Okay, yes! Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this 11 o'clock morning show of Mission Start Podcast Live. As you saw in the intro video, again, if you haven't noticed before, we are part of Machinima, or their affiliate. So anything game-wise, it's cool. We get paid for it. Also, shout out to Joycaster. We recently purchased their service, and we are streaming through Joycaster to YouTube and to
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, my dad's Happy Valentine's Day. But what was it? It is being streamed onto YouTube and onto Twitch at the same time through Joycaster, which is great because it means less work for my computer to do. Anyways, with that.
Hi, Anthony's dad.
I like how the lag happens right there. So joining me today on this lovely Valentine's Day is Greg Dietz, and he has video this time.
Oh, I got a camera. Also, these glasses are starting to be. Oh my god! Now it's super bright. Shouldn't have done that.
Yes. So yeah, Greg Dietz has a video, and he's gonna be joining us instead of his usual picture that I always use. So yeah, it's gonna be him today. Our other person is not joining us this morning for obvious reasons. But yeah, hang on. Come on, XSplit, work with me. There we go. Okay. Oh, there he goes. Okay. So. First, oh wait, actually, hang on, I forgot to play music. Hang on. There we go.
Background jams?
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Anyway, so, to start off this morning, so, there's a list of topics that I, go through every week in news-wise that I think should be discussed or talked about. One of which, I think I should start because Peter Molyneux. The man, he speaks a lot highly about a lot of stuff with the games he works on, and oftentimes, he is kind of the budding joke of some games that he promised to have all these features and turns out to be not true.
He's the king of, hey, my game has all this stuff, and wait, I over-exaggerated.
Yes, agreed. So in a recent interview with Rock Paper Shotgun, they had an interview with Peter Molyneux. Peter Molyneux kind of came out and says, it's over. I will not speak to the press again in terms of games he's working on or hyperbole stuff.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. He's the king of hyperbole.
Pretty much. So, and the thing is, I saw another quote saying he feels like there is no reputation that he's made of himself over the years, and I saw a comment about this, and actually it's pretty true. He does have a reputation, and it's for promising games that to be to have all these cool features and everything, when in reality when it comes out it's not that. So he does have a reputation. It's not a good one, but he does, and I think generally he's just a good guy. I think that generally I don't think it's his fault per se. It's part of his fault, but I don't think it's his fault per se when it comes to the game development. So, but yeah,
the thing, he's got that Michael Bay syndrome, where I have to open my mouth and sell this product the best that I can, and instead of selling it the way that I should, I oversell it. He's like that car salesman that wants to sell you on the lemon, but doesn't really quite know how the after effects will be. Like, imagine, if you will, a car salesman, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's going through the aisle and he's like, look at this car, look at that car, look at that car, it's amazing, blah, 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 blah. He knows that one is a lemon. That one specific one is a lemon. Maybe not a lemon, but let's say it's a good car. Let's throw out the lemon part. Let's say it's a good car. And he's telling you it has all these features in it. That's really cool. You're like, rad, I will buy that car and take it home. You then take it home and you go, oh, well, it doesn't have half the shit he said it was going to. What the fuck? And then you go back to the dealership, and the salesman's like, oh, I didn't think you were coming back. That's Peter Molyneux.
Yeah. Give credit where credit's due. When he came up with Black and White and Black and White 2, they were great games, and I think that kind of helped proportion him to what he is today, for better or for worse. I think in this case, I think it's probably gonna make the right choice and not speak of any game in terms of like how excited he is and how he, all these awesome stuff is going to be in the game, because like I think he learned finally that it's best if you're going to tease and kind of let people know about this game in the future, like make it like kind of talk about what it has and what's going to guarantee the game is going to have. I know a lot of people who would like a lot of the developers would say like, this feature will be in the game, or this other feature that show up is like in the game, it's not going to be in final retail. And a lot of changes happen between when it starts and where it ends. So for better or for worse, I think Peter Molyneux, and I suggest you guys read the whole entire interview. It's really great. It's on their website at rockpapershotgun.com. He in that interview, he sounds very human. Like, he's very human, and he's like kind of confesses, what he feels he did wrong, and he kind of recognizes that finally. So
yeah, I think at the end of the day, Peter Molyneux is a guy who Peter Molyneux is definitely a guy who understands what he's doing. He understands that he is technically a salesman. I mean, look at Milo, for Christ's sake. He was selling that thing to be the next fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
So, I think that he definitely needs to realize that when gamers get upset because they don't have what he promised, then he should understand that.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think he does, but I don't know. I'm just rambling. Also, there's that screen of me.
Yeah, that's the joys of X. But hang on, let me do something else. And while we're on this topic, hang on a minute. But
yeah, let's keep talking about things while you're fixing.
Yes, blah 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 blah. What was I gonna say though? So the next topic I do want to talk about, as we see, great on the screen. So Sega changes its company name from Sega Games from Sega to Sega Games after restructure. This also coincides with the Sonic Boom game which sold. It didn't sell particularly well. Let's say that.
I heard it sold like 500,000 copies or something like that.
Less than 5,000 copies.
Less than 5,000.
Yes. Or
holy
shit. Yeah. It was a bad game. I remember reading that the 3DS sold around 3.5, I think it was, and the rest were the console, the Wii U game. It was pretty bad overall.
There's some guy at Team Sonic just sitting in the corner going, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, like in terms of just like
worldwide, 490,000 copies worldwide. That is atrocious.
Yeah. It was pretty awful. Oh, hang on a minute. There we go. What was it? Yeah, it was pretty awful. Like, Like, it was the worst selling Sonic game in Sega's franchise. I didn't think it was even possible to begin with, but they managed to do it.
That is impressive.
But so here I got into a little research in terms of what Sega's been up to as of late. And the thing is, though, about Sega is that while they are moving offices, they closed down the office in San Francisco and actually going to LA to kind of restructure over here in the States. They actually aren't doing too bad in Japan. Japan, they're making a pretty good amount of money in the mobile market, but also some of the games that are coming out there. And most of those games are only Japan only games, but they're doing pretty well. So, because, like, when I saw that post, like, people were saying, like, rest in peace Sonic, rest in peace, Sega. One of the things that I read that was surprising, because I remember they recently announced that one of their games was being localized from Japan to the States, which I was really surprised. I never thought it would see the light of day. But the game I'm talking about is was it the Bunkai Fighting Climax? Basically, like, they put in anime like characters from various animes and mangas into this one fighting game. And it's fun for people who played it and people who played it. It's a fun, simple game, and isn't anything new or anything that breaks the mold. But it's just there to be there. Yeah, like, I think people are kind of getting, people are getting this idea that Sega is, like, done after Sonic Boom.
No, they had a flop. I mean, that's all it comes down to. I mean, realistically, I'm not a Sonic fan. I haven't been since the days of yore. I don't like the way the game feels. I don't like the way it plays. I know there's a lot of Sonic fans, and people will argue that the first three are amazing, and maybe even Sonic and Knuckles. And admittedly, they're not the worst games I've ever played, but they're definitely not my cup of tea. And no Sonic game that's been in three dimensions have I really enjoyed. I take that back. There's Sonic Generations and Sonic Colors are not terrible.
They're actually not that bad, actually.
And then also Sonic Rush on the DS, I really enjoyed too. But that's to say that I enjoyed them because that was the only thing I had to play at the time. Realistically, if there was something better that was out, I wouldn't have played it. That sounds mean, but that's the truth. So, it's hard for me to sit here and go like, yeah, Sonic Boom sucked, but Team Sonic will bounce back, because we've seen that not happen. Yeah,
like, how many times have Sega promised a good Sonic game, and, like, people have been burned and scorned over the years? Yeah. So here's the thing I take away from it is that I think, and I read somewhere in an article, I'm not sure where it was, maybe Kotaku.com or some other website. It was Polygon, saying that I think it's time you just let Sonic die, in terms of, like, not making another Sonic game. I think that
they should get a solid team, spend 3 years developing an original Sonic title. Is what I honestly think they should do. No game tie-ins, nothing of that sort. Make it so that way it plays on every console. If they have to make it so that way it plays on the 3DS, and that's the limitations that they have, then release that same game on all the other consoles, if that's truly what they want to do. Unfortunately, as it stands right now, they sit there, like, with Sonic Boom, their biggest problem was that they set, like, I think it was a year it took to make it. Or that's how long they
No, not to make it depressing, but they had 4 years to make that game.
Holy shit! Are you kidding me?
I'm just what I've read. That's what I read in the Reddit comment threads. And maybe it's true or not, but that's what I've heard. 4 years. If that's true, then it's like
I had heard that they separated, like, a full team to make a game, separated it into a bunch of groups, and then one group was working on the TV show or some shit like that, and then one group was working on the 3DS game, and one was working on the console game, and maybe that's what I don't know. There's so many, like, at Half Empty Energy Tank. One of the guys that his name is Hutch. He plays before me on Wednesday, or streams before me on Wednesday. He played Sonic Boom, And everyone was asking him, like, what'd you think of it? Like, how did you hate it? Was it annoying? Was it just broken like everyone thinks it is? And he's like, no, it's not as broken as you think it is. It actually plays really well if you play it in order. But then other reviewers that I've listened to talk about the game, and they go, I accidentally skipped like half the game because of an accidental glitch. Like, how does that happen? How do you accidentally skip part of the game? Yeah, you watch the Game Grumps playthrough, and they're intentionally using the Knuckles glitch to skip part of the game. And that's fine. They're intentionally using a glitch. They're trying to break that game because it's funny. But when an actual person, a reviewer, who's not streaming it, is playing it or recording it, just playing for a review, and they say, I accidentally glitched the game, something went wrong. Something went horribly wrong.
Yeah. That game wasn't finished. The game wasn't finished, and it could have used some more time testing out the bugs and refining some of the graphics and everything else wise.
It's just amazing how there are smaller teams out there who make bigger, broader games and don't have that many problems.
Yeah.
They're like, some reviewers talk about how some sections of Sonic Boom look completely finished and have no glitches. And then there's other sections that look not even remotely done. Like, there's a lot of parts in the game where there's these big sprawling areas where there are buildings and stuff, and like, it feels like there should be characters walking about, just random characters.
Right.
I don't know. We're getting into Sonic Boom itself, and not why, like, what Sega should do. I really think that Sega should just, I don't know. I don't think they should put Sonic out to pasture. I really don't. He's too popular of a character. But I will say this: if they do another Sonic Boom, they're done. They're just done.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I actually would like to see them not make a Sonic game for a while. Like, kind of that. There's a term I remember hearing in terms of, like, in the game industry, in terms of some games, like, I can't miss a game, or I can't miss you if you haven't gone away. So I can't miss Sonic or want Sonic back or anything of nature, because we've been so diluted with so many Sonic bad games over the years that we forget, or some people forget, like, how was good with Sonic back in the day, or, like, you know, what kind of really drew people into Sonic when it was first shown. So, like, I think they shouldn't make a Sonic game for a while. Make people kind of yearn for it, I guess, you know, kind of, you know.
That's what I'm saying, like, because, I mean, if it's true that it took them 4 years to make Sonic Boom, that's incredibly sad.
It is.
Because my honest suggestion was, like, just hold off for develop a game for 3 years. And they're like, well, 4 years to make it. I'm like, geez, like, that's, I don't know. Because if you look at, like, the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, it sold a ton of copies.
It did.
You look at Sonic Team Racing, or not Sonic Team Racing, but is it Sonic Team Racing? It's the one that has all the Sega characters.
Right. Now you're talking about, yeah, it's called Sega some Racing. I don't know. I know you're talking about, though.
Yeah, but that game sold a ton, and it's a really well-made game. Like, that is an amazing kart race. If you have not played, like, Sega Team Racing Transformed, or whatever the hell it's called, which I'm doing a terrible job at selling it, but it's definitely a game because there's a lot to it that is an amazingly fun experience, or makes it an amazingly fun experience. Like, and it confounds me that, like, when Sonic was first created, back in the early 90s, I believe. So someone in the chat just said Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing.
Oh, right. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Back when Sonic was created on the Sega Genesis, Sonic was created simply because they wanted to showcase how fast the blast processor was. That was their whole goal with Sonic. Look how fast everything moves. Like, it's not Mario. Okay. And I remember playing it, and I was like, this is awesome. then I'd hit like level 3. I'd be like, this is not as awesome because they force you to stop, but the character's all about speed. Like swimming levels or water levels. Like, why? Why would you do that? That doesn't make any damn sense. And so, like, I just didn't like Sonic then. And now that they're like, you know, I got the Dreamcast when the Dreamcast came out. And that was the console with the first 3D Sonic. I don't count Sonic CD because I just don't.
Right.
Sonic Adventure was the true first Sonic 3D game. And when I played it, I was like, this, like, there's a lot of times as kids where you go and you play, like, the first, Twisted Metal or the first whatever. Like, a lot of early PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64 games look like garbage now. Like, they're very hard to look at because of so many textures and the way the polygons work in the sense of, like, jagged edges and shit like that. Like, a lot of it is very hard to look at. And you go back to that original Sonic Adventure and play it again, it doesn't hold up. Not even a little bit. And we can't sit there and go, oh, well, do you remember Sonic then? Well, you shouldn't hate him because of that Sonic. No, that's not how this works. We want new Sonic games. We can't just play the old ones for eternity. Unless
we could, but, like, you know.
Well, I was going to say, unless Team Sonic wants to stop making Sonic games, then we can play them for eternity.
Yeah.
But if you plan on making new ones, then give us a good game. Give us a quality game. What Sega, I think, fails to realize, what Sega doesn't want to... what Sega doesn't want to realize is that most of the fans of Sonic are the same people that played Sonic on the Genesis, and they want to buy Sonic games. They want to spend their money on Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic is still a pretty recognizable character that people are still going to buy regardless. But what to see in due time.
That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. I mean, those fans want to buy those games to the extent that if a bad game comes out, they're not going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to move past it.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I know a lot of people. God, what was the Sonic game that came out before Boom?
Was it Sonic? What was it?
Lost Worlds?
I want to say, wasn't it Sonic Colors?
No. There was one on the Nintendo Wii or Wii U, I should say, that like everything had like a circular or spherical shape to it when Sonic was running on it. I want to say it was Lost Worlds, but
it may be. I don't know. If anybody in the chat can correct us, that'd be great.
that game was also really bad. That game was not fun. And it just sucks to see these Sonic fans who've been fans of Sonic since the Genesis, and they've grown up to be adults, and they go, yeah, Lost World, okay, and they want to buy these Sonic games, and they do. They absolutely do go buy these Sonic games, and they're like, well, this is absolute shit. Why would you make another shit Sonic game? It's gonna get to the point where, like, and it's kind of been proven with Boom, the low sales are showing that Sonic fans are just sick of Team Sonic shit.
Yeah.
And maybe Sega should do. Maybe there needs to be some changes with the development team. Get some new folks in there that have a passion for Sonic. Get a director in there that has a passion for Sonic.
Right, definitely. It's definitely going to... I mean, it's going to take some time. It's going to see exactly how things will shape up for Sega. But in due time, you know, we'll see how the future of Sega and Sonic and everything else happens. All right, so these next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you guys some trailers that I've managed to... I found recently this past week that was announced. So, as it slowly loads... I got a couple trailers, some of which are the Devil May Cry, Virgil's Buddy Palace trailer, the opening to Tekken 7, Monster Hunter 4, and Just Cause 3. Come on.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of these. I hope I sincerely hope that Just Cause 3 has like at least 4-player multiplayer.
That'd be great, actually. I'd love to see that.
All over that game if that's the case. Because like the second game was amazingly fun, but it was only 2. It was only like single player or 2-player co-op.
Right. So let's see. The first one, the trailer, it's going to be, I think it's Monster Hunter. Yeah, Monster Hunter 4. Okay, so this was a launch trailer for the game for the DDS. So I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about Monster Hunter 4. I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about it. People were saying that it's great as a first time people who have never played Monster Hunter. They said that the game handles pretty well, and the way you progress in the game is pretty well as well. I talked to my brother about it too because he is into Monster Hunter, and he's like, he told me that this game is pretty good. So. And the reason I bring this because I'm thinking myself getting this game because I never played a Monster Hunter game. I've always seen it, always know about it, but never really played it. So, and also I have a DS, so it gives me more of an incentive to get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely want to check it out and play it, but at the same time, it's kind of like I don't know. I'm not terribly interested. Like, it looks awesome, it's great, and a lot of people seem to be loving the shit out of it. I'm not super into it. So.
Right. So the next trailer shown right now is the opening to Tekken 7, the arcade opening to it. Which, cool. Another Tekken game. So far, it looks very interesting in terms that they're changing a few things to how the game plays. Now there's like armor moves now, and like now there are like supers, which they never had before. Also, they have the kind of like kind of ridiculous storyline. Like now it's the final battle between like Hachi and and Jin. Oh no, not Jin. Kazuya. My bad. But anyways, like basically the story of this game is like it's the final battle between these two because they've been fighting for like years in every other Tekken game. And this is now had to deal with Kazuya's mother, which apparently Hachi killed back in the day, and he wants revenge. But in this trailer, it kind of shows like Kazuya has like this kind of like because he already has like the double gene, but like even now has like some evolved version of it. Pops open another eye in the middle of his forehead. I mean, like Tekken storyline's always been kind of just weird and it's kind of like convoluted. I just like it's just funny to me. I kind of keep up with it just for the hell of it. But what I've seen so far at Tekken 7 though, it's very interesting. It's very different than what it's used to.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I didn't like Tekken growing up because it had like it was a different type of play style than like Street Fighter or games like Street Fighter. And I tried playing it, multiple times. My brother was super into it, and I was just like, I'm just not. Nope, not.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a very different game. It's a lot different than Street Fighter. It's definitely it's a very more patient game than anything else, if I were to kind of describe it, because a lot of the animation moves are slower, and you have to kind of time your moves instead of just like in Street Fighter, like you can block, this move in this amount of frames. Like in Tekken, it's like more of a flow to it. So I think this is the Just Cause 3 trailer. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen this trailer yet, so
I actually haven't either.
So this is new for me. Oh, cool! Wow. So we got a car going through some fire right now.
Seems like destructible environments. I don't remember if there were a ton of destructible environments in the other Just Cause games.
Yeah.
I don't think that there was, but if there's destructible environments in Just Cause 3, that would be a very, very well welcomed.
Well, this trailer is kind of indicating that with that explosion of the bridge, and like, wait, why is there? Wow, this is some James Bond shit going on right now. There's so many explosions.
Hey?
Yeah. Oh, is that 9? Man, Stalin. That's. I would say, is that
I think it's supposed to be a dictatorish type character that's like Stalin. And
yeah. So we got our main character who's just like diving in the midair. Okay, and that was it. Oh, they have the hook. I love they put in the hook in the title.
I'm behind you on the screen.
Okay.
Hey, look at that. It's a white grizzled guy.
Yeah. So yeah, for those probably gonna watch it right now. The Just Cause 3 trailer is very interesting. Yeah. It's
Yeah, I'd like to know more. Again, like, it's only on PS4?
Oh, it's a PS4 exclusive. Yeah.
Wow.
Guess what I'm getting today, everybody? PS4. Man, that's hilarious.
Actually, I want a PS4. I really do. I want to get a PS4, a Wii U, and a Wii or an Xbox 360. Or I have an Xbox One, but I'm mainly saying that because I like to have everything and have my options open.
Oh yeah, I definitely. If you could have that, that'd be awesome. Like getting the options.
Like this Pulse 3.
Yes. All right, it's 11:30. It is time for your esports minute. Do.
All right, that's enough of that. Actually, I have this app on my phone that can do specific sounds.
Oh, really?
So, see if I have the air horn. Hang on a sec. Well, I mean, continue with your esports minute.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so, oh man, come on, XSplit, hang in there. The lag. Okay, all right. So, to start off, League of Legends Championship Series in Europe. There's week 4 of the LCS happening right now. Winners from this past week have been Unicorns of Love versus Meet Your Makers.
Found it.
Awesome. Alright, hang on a minute. Guys, come out of the slide. There we go. Okay. Anyways, alright, so Unicorns of Love beat Your Makers. Copenhagen Wolves beats Fnatic. SK Gaming beats Giants Gaming, and last but not least, god damn it, Gambit Gaming versus Elements, and Gambit Gaming came on top. So that was League of Legends. Also, last weekend was Shadow Showdown 6. A bunch of games happening this last week, a bunch of fighting games. So to go off from left to right, Ultra Street Fighter 4. First place was E.G. Momochi with Ken. Second place was Kazunoko with Yun. And third place was Razor Gax with Fei Long. In Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, first place. Hang on. Let me take a pause this. Okay. First place in Marvel was X5, Baxter, Magneto, Spencer, Dr. Doom. Second place was E.G. K-Brad with Trish, Virgil, Dante. And in third place was Eita with Nova, Dr. Doom, and Virgil. In Tekken Tag 2, first place was Saint with Ganyu and Bob. Second place was Ram. I don't know how to say that. With Christine and Eddie. Dion in third place with Lars and Jack 6. In Guilty Gear Xrd, first place was Kazunoko with So Bad Guy. Second place was Dogura with So Bad Guy, Leo, and White Fang. And in third place was Sako with Zato. In King of Fighters 13, first place was Punko with Flame, Miori, Kyo, and Kim. Second place was On Konov with Duolon, Benimaru, and Kim. Third place was X5 Baxter with Flame, Miori, Mr. Karate, and Kim. For Super Smash Bros. 4, first place was Earl with Little Mac. Holy shit, Little Mac won a tournament? Wow. That's awesome. Second place was Viva with Mario. And in third place was Tibbs with Diddy Kong and Pikachu. And in Super Smash Bros. 4 doubles, it was first place with Atelier, I think that's his names, with Meta Knight and Tibbs with Pikachu. Second place was Earl with Little Mac versus and Nyx with Diddy Kong. And third place was Dean with Mario, and Bifa with King and King DDD. And that's your esports minute. And and somehow
I can't do multiple. I want to do like wah, 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 wah. That's what I wanted to do, but
and we are now joined by Stormtrooper onto the show. So this past week, Bethesda came out and said they're hosting their own conference at E3 for 2015, and as far as I know, they're going to be announcing some games. E3 is actually in a couple months, which is kind of crazy to think about. But there are definitely some speculation to which games, as far as like what's gonna be going on. So here's my my guess, because like here's the thing. There's a definite thing that they're probably going to show Doom 4. Doom 4 was shown at QuakeCon this past year. They've made sure nobody leaked that shit out. And Doom 4, I think, will make its trailer debut at their E3 press conference. I don't think that's going to be not a big surprise. The other one that I've been hearing a lot as of late is that they're going to show off Fallout 4, the new Fallout game. Because it's been a while since we had a new Fallout game, and most of their time was developing Skyrim and the DLC with that, and now I believe they're gonna go back to Fallout, and that's what I've been hearing a lot, which is cool. I don't mind that. So that's one of the games that people have been talking about.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Bethesda's gonna be doing like, another, because as popular as Skyrim was.
Mm-hmm.
Online, Elder Scrolls Online was a fucking fat flop. And I don't think that they're going to be showcasing or announcing another Elder Scrolls game.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't really think of any other Bethesda games that would need sequels unless they're announcing a completely new IP, which would be cool.
I could see that. I could see them announcing a new IP. I just don't know what exactly will be in. But like those are the two main games I can think of at the moment. Because I know like they're done with Skyrim for a while. I don't think they're gonna work on another Skyrim game for another Elder Scrolls game for a while. I'm interested to see what happens. I'm not sure what else they have in their wheelhouse in terms of like what other games they could possibly come out with, to my knowledge. But it's cool. I want to see Fallout 4. I want to see Doom 4. I want to see that shit and be happy about that.
Pulling up a list of games that they could be possibly announcing.
Cool. While you do that, speaking of...
Rage 2.
Maybe... Rage was okay. It wasn't bad of a game. Possibly.
They could, apparently Doom 4, maybe?
Doom 4 is a definite. They showed it at QuakeCon. They showed it at QuakeCon, but they didn't let anybody outside leak it. So only people who went to QuakeCon was able to see it. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna make its presence known at E3.
Dishonored 2. Fuck, Brink, that game is terrible.
Dishonored 2, I'm not quite sure if that would be. I think it's a little too soon, to be honest.
I'm just throwing it out there. Oh my god, I scrolled up and I came across Brink and it made me mad again.
Oh, Brink.
Like, worst.
Brink. Oh man. But I'm excited. You know, E3, anything E3 talk wise, it gets me excited for new games and new stuff to be announced. Speaking of announcements or future games, so EA teased that there will be a new Titanfall game in the works, Titanfall 2, and it won't be an Xbox exclusive this time around. Which I'm cool with. I mean, yeah, and more platforms to play on. PS4, Xbox One, PC, whatever. Do you think like it's a bit too soon for Titanfall 2? Because Titanfall 1 came out last year.
Yeah, it's a year old. It'll be a year old next month, but yeah.
Do you think it's too soon for another Titanfall, or do you think that it's the right time? Or
I think that first off, they're probably gonna make a thing about it at E3 and be like, "Oh, it comes out in March of 2016." That's fine. That's a 2-year gap, especially for a multiplayer game that, that whole like if it ain't broke, don't fix this mentality.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine. I mean, again, if it turns out that the game is shit, then we know that maybe you should take more time. But I mean, we just won't know until it happens. But I think one of the big things that they should definitely work on for Titanfall 2 is a stronger presence of storyline. Yeah,
I agree. Cause like when I was playing it, it's freaking fun. Like I enjoy playing Titanfall. And I enjoy kind of the opening sequence where like you're about to jump out of this helicopter, it's plane, and like this robot just tells you, get ready, and like you get that full presence of like jumping out, hit the ground, get to work. It's really cool. I like it. It's pretty awesome. But
Titanfall is a very fun game. I've played quite a bit of it on both the 360 and then the Xbox One, and constantly impressed with that game. It not only looks beautiful, but it plays incredibly smoothly. I mean, you can argue until you're blue in the face that it's just another Call of Duty, but at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong necessarily with Call of Duty. What's wrong with Call of Duty is the community. It's the same with League of Legends. There's nothing wrong with League of Legends. Pardon me. It's just the community.
You know what's funny? Sorry, not to interrupt you, but you know what's funny? Is like some of these games have been like, at least with these first-person shooter games, they've been looking all the same as of late. Like, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare looks kind of and feels exactly how Titanfall feels. In terms of, like, you can now jump and like jetpack and do whatever you want. I remember there's another game that was kind of similar to that as well. So like, it's funny how like some of these first-person shooter games are starting to look very, very similar. And the funny thing is, like, they don't do it on purpose though, like, 'cause these games are in development for years. So like, it's like they come out and it's like, oh, your game is just like ours, huh? So I mean, yeah,
I think people are always like compare and contrast games that they think are similar, especially like incredibly hyped games.
Yeah.
Let's take Evolve for example. It's so hyped that any kind of slight negativity towards the game is accentuated. That's not the right word. Made bigger, is what I was trying to say, than it actually is. This whole the whole DLC thing. People aren't actually doing any research on it. They're just getting angry, and that's not the way that you should be looking at it. That's not how anyone should be looking at it. It should absolutely be a situation where you rate a game on its own merits. Period. You cannot sit there and go, oh, Evolve sucks because it's just another shooter. Have you actually played it? Have you put the time into it? Because it's not. Sure, it's FPS. That to me is like saying that Portal is just another first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Just because it's first-person perspective does not make it like Call of Duty. Just because a game has parkour in it doesn't make it like fucking Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, but we make this comparison just because of like there are certain games that reminds us of like this certain mechanic because it was from that game.
It's fine if it reminds you. If you go, I'm fine with you going, this game reminds me of that game. That's fine. But the second you go, but that game did it better. You're white noise at that point.
Duly noted. Yes, agreed.
You as in I should clarify, you as in royal you, not anybody in particular.
Yeah, fuck you, Greg. I know what you mean.
Hey.
Okay. Mr. Cool Guy with the glasses. Wear your shades inside everywhere you go.
Just to clarify, I got these shades yesterday because it's been bright in California, like exceptionally bright, and the pool water gets really bright with like the reflection and shit. So I had to get a pair of sunglasses. And this old lady loaned me an extra pair that she had, but they're like doo-wop, and they got like a zebra logo, and they were all like pointy right here. It was terrible. So I was like, I got to get a new pair, and I go to Walmart just to get a cheap pair of sunglasses, and I go to the rack, and it's like $13-$14, and Jesus Christ, expensive. I turn it, and I see a pair of purple fucking sunglasses that fit my face perfectly for $5. I'm like, oh my god, it was meant to happen.
It was fate. So the thing I want to touch upon this morning, as you and I both know, we're both pretty big Star Wars fans. And there was a rumor.
Wait. You mean to tell me that I'm a Star Wars fan? What are you talking about?
Oh, hang on. I got full screen this shit.
I don't know how well you can see it on the camera.
No, I see it. Wow. Okay, I have I take that back. You're the bigger Star Wars fan than I am.
Well, I mean,
Do you have? Okay, I'm about to say, is are you gonna like show me more tattoos?
Can you see all those Star Wars action figures up there?
It's kind of dark actually, so I can see the Pikachu.
Shit.
Well, I'll just take you for the word for it though.
There's a crap ton up there. Like I have. I'm looking at what I shot. Okay, I needed to point it up higher. Yeah, I have like there was a thing called Star Wars Unleashed, like a bunch of action figures of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have like a fucking ton of them.
Definitely. But yeah, the reason why I brought, oh yeah, that too. The reason why I brought up Star Wars is that the new game Star Wars Battlefront, the game that that's in the works and by EA. There's rumors saying that campaign spans entire Star Wars saga and acts as prequels to Force Awakens. Multiplayer has hero system, which is, that's awesome. Fucking, I was happy the fact that there was a new Star Wars Battlefront announced initially, but to kind of know that they're gonna span throughout the entire Star Wars saga, like Battlefront 2 kind of did. That's fucking awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Okay, first off, if you've ever played the original Battlefronts, they're amazing. Sure, they don't quite hold up now because the controls are a bit key, but I mean, if you go back to the time that they were around, controls weren't necessarily like great for most games in that era. But like now, I imagine that they're going to be like, you can play this in third person like the classic, or you can play in first person like most games are now. Like, if that's an option, that's fantastic. I hope they do that. The fact that you and I are sitting here talking about the game and I just came up with that idea leads me to believe that they will.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not a game developer.
Of course not.
But yeah, like, there are so many battles in the original trilogy and the new trilogy. Even though people hate the new trilogy, and I understand to a point why, but whatever. And then there's, and it's going to tie into the new movie. Like, that's awesome. And I know that each Star Wars movie is going to be just like how George did it in the past and how the new trilogy is, and that's separated by 2 years apiece.
Mm-hmm.
I sincerely hope that Battlefront is just so good that they just do DLC.
I would say, yeah.
Or expansion.
I mean, like, the thing about it, it's like you can only go so far as much as the lore and the story of Star Wars can take you. Yeah. I mean, but overall, I'm excited. Like, I'm really excited for the new Battlefront. I think that anything that that is reminiscent of the old Battlefronts that are put in this game just makes me happy in multiple ways.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree. I very, very, very excited for it. That was like one of the highlights of last E3 for me.
Oh yes, that was a surprise. Nobody expected that shit. I was like, holy fuck!
2 years ago.
Sorry. Oh yeah, it was the same year that also Mirror's Edge 2 was shown, and I was like, was pretty excited. I was pretty excited for Battlefront until Mirror's Edge 2. It's like, oh my god, I have to have this game.
We have an off-topic question from the chat.
All right, sure. What's up?
It says, Chubb, I must ask, thoughts on the crossguard lightsaber? So,
oh, that thing.
First off, if it was just a standard lightsaber, which it's clearly not in that trailer, and I'll explain what I mean by that. If there was just a lightsaber that had the crossguard on it, it'd be fine. The idea that it is a single beam going through the entire lightsaber, and that there's a second switch that allows the crossguard to come on and turn off at will, is a fantastic idea. If you go into the lore of lightsabers at all, you understand how the crystals and the directional whatever for the inside of the lightsaber works. Now, people getting up in arms and saying like, "Oh, it cuts off one," like, no, it's one solid beam, you numbnuts. Like, yeah, if it hits that part of the lightsaber, oh well. Plus, there is a lore that's in the fucking lore that there's a material in the Star Wars universe that can reject metal, or I'm sorry, a metal that can reject lightsabers. For crying out goddamn loud! In Episode 3. General Grievous has a staff that can stop lightsabers.
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious that there's a material that can stop a lightsaber.
Yeah.
The fact that so that all put aside, if you watch that trailer again, you'll notice that when he turns on the lightsaber, it's a static beam. It's not a solid beam that comes out. As if to say he built the lightsaber and didn't quite know how, because if all the Sith are dead and he finds Sith holocrons but doesn't get all the information, then he's clearly not going to know how to build a lightsaber correctly. So it comes out very static, and then on top of that, the crossguard bit comes out like flames, as if they're exhaust ports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To like make sure that the fucking lightsaber doesn't explode in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into the crossguard, and the fact that people want to sit there and be like, it's stupid, it's dumb, are the type of people out there that don't like change. They don't like cool things. And on top of all of that, and this is coming from a guy who has a fucking Star Wars tattoo. Star Wars is about having fun. It's about letting go of science, letting go of your disbelief, and just go with it. Just have a good time. Yes, if the story sucks, the story sucks. I'll admit that with episode 1. It's not told well. But if you take the story for how it is, if you take things for how they are, and just go with it, just have a good time, you're not going to be upset. Like, yes, with Jurassic Park, I don't like the idea of trained raptors. But guess what I'm going to do? Get the fuck over it and enjoy a fucking adventure movie.
Oh man, I love this so much.
I could easily, if I wanted to, make blogs where I just rant like that. It'd be mostly me yelling.
Yeah.
But people, and it'd be counter what most of the internet's saying. Like 90% of the time,
yeah.
I am not on the internet side with shit.
Sounds like an interesting idea, but I'll just say this once, or for myself, it just looks cool. I don't care. I don't care what the possibilities are. Like I think the best explanation. Look up Stephen Colbert's explanation of the lightsaber, which was great. That was awesome. So there's a few things left, and I think I'll get to. Let's see which one I'm gonna tackle next. So let's tackle this one. So Telltale CEO talks about Minecraft and teases a secret about the original project. So for as long as Telltale has been around, they've been making a lot of games that were not based original IPs. They were all like from a series or from a show. Recently Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, and other shows and other games that kind of summed with that. So they recently announced that they're gonna do an original IP, and I remember the CEO saying that they've really kind of experimented and they figured out like how a game works in terms of how to make a good story in these games and how characters interact with each other to kind of help move the story along. Personally, I'm interested. I want to see what they do. Maybe it's another one of those type of games that it is similar to Walking Dead, or it's very similar to what they've been doing for the past couple of years, but with their own original story and characters. I'm excited. I mean, even if it does not do well, I think it's a good right step into producing some original content and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. Especially with the pedigree of games they've been doing recently, I think I think it'll be pretty cool, for sure.
I'm sorry, I was dealing with two things on my phone. What company did you say?
Telltale.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah, okay. That's the only part I didn't catch. I heard you say everything after that, and I was like, I don't know what company. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Like, I'm a big Telltale fan. I was actually talking about Telltale yesterday when I was streaming. I think it was yesterday. Might have been Wednesday. I bought all of The Walking Dead. I bought all of Wolf Among Us. I have episode 1 and 2 of Game of Thrones. I have episode 1 of Borderlands. I'm gonna buy the Minecraft one, and their original IP will be mine as well. They tried making other point-and-click adventure games before Walking Dead, and they never quite clicked. They never quite got it right. There was a Jurassic Park one, a Back to the Future one, a Monkey Island one, and they just didn't quite work. And I think that was because story. What makes these new Telltale games so good is their storytellers. The characters that they have that go through whatever they're dealing with is so well put together and well made that I can't help but enjoy it. You know, there are people that argue that the Jurassic Park one has a good story, and it could, but it's mostly like, you know, the biggest problem with the Jurassic Park one is that the characters are shitty. You just don't care about them. The Back to the Future one is just, it's like they were kind of trying to retell the story or the movies again. Like, seriously, Marty McFly, like, Doc is missing. He finds the DeLorean. He travels back to 1955, finds clues, then travels to the future, to 2015, and then he does his thing again. And then he travels to 1885, does the Old West thing again, and then travels back to 1985, and the game's over. It's like, I understand why they did that. They were trying to sell to that nostalgic crowd, but that didn't work. And then the Monkey Island one, like, you know, people, you know, nostalgia bit that one in the ass because people wanted the classic Monkey Island and didn't get it, so.
Right. I mean,
they made some other ones, but I don't remember what they made.
Right. There were definitely some other games that they definitely made. It's before Walking Dead. I feel like a lot of the games they made were hit or miss. And there were some games that were good and some games that were, you know, okay or weren't the greatest. So I'm excited. I want to see what they do for sure. So before we close out the show, and because, you know, as I said before, I'm getting a PS4 today. Sony has announced, and it's kind of funny because this doesn't happen usually. Every PlayStation game they confirm for 2015 is guaranteed to come out, is what they've said. So let me read you the list of names of games that they're coming out with. And actually, let's see if I can do this. Extra space. Hang on a minute, guys. Let me get. Don't see me anymore. Okay. Add screen capture. And boom. Yeah, live editing, guys. Woo, Matrix. Okay, so start from the top. Dead or Alive 5 last round, coming out in soon, relatively, the 20th actually. Oh shit, a couple of days. The Order 1886 on the 20th as well. Dragon Ball Universe, which actually I am kind of interested in, comes out on the 27th of this month. Dynasty Warriors 8 Empire on the 27th of this month. Hyper Devotion Noir Goddess of Black Heart is coming out for the Vita on the 27th. Pillar is coming out on the 18th. Wait, is it? No, okay. What the hell? I must have been HTLO hashtag Nick the Firefall Diary by Nice America is coming out on 25th. Project Cars on the 30th. Resident Evil Revelations 2 Episode 1 coming out on 25th of February. Unio or Under Night in Birth EX late. I cannot talk this morning. It's coming out on 27th. Let's see what else is there. Now I can kind of see. Go through. Bloodborne's coming out on the 27th of March. Batman Arkham Asylum, Mortal Kombat X. So basically what I'm saying is, like, it's kind of rare sometimes when they announce a lot of games at their E3 press conference and, like, they say a date. Nowadays, like, how games are being delayed to get better. It's interesting to say that they are guaranteed to come out this year. Now, whether that be true or not, I think it's interesting to say. But if it, you know, Sony has the balls to do it, and if they they say every game they announced in 2015 is coming out this year, then we'll have to wait and see. We got home to it. So Sony, if you're listening to this, you know, put your money where your mouth is. This is the year.
Yeah.
So that's our show, guys. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. We would have originally the show usually starts at 10 a.m., but I kind of messed up and I end up putting down 11 a.m. So just for future reference, if you're new to the show, be sure to subscribe to us on not only on iTunes and Stitcher, but also on this Twitch channel and our YouTube channel. And if you're an Androidcaster, subscribe to them too. But before we go, Greg, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me at manhorse.com. You can find me on... That's a different podcast. No. Find me on Twitter at Chubrocky. Say it CHUBROCKGEEK. I stream every Wednesdays on Half Empty Energy Tank, which is it's twitch.tv/halfempty energy tank. Sometimes I believe I'm gonna be every other week I'll be doing Frantic Friday for Half Empty now.
Oh, nice.
Just be playing a multiplayer game and letting viewers play with me.
Awesome.
It'll be Xbox One games, and I think the person who's gonna be doing it before me or like alternating with me, she'll be doing League of Legends. Oh, let's see, what else? Reviews on the site. There was something else I'm doing. I don't remember. I'm definitely gonna do those rant videos. Those are happening. I'm just sick of the internet's bullshit. Everyone's so absolute. No one wants to think of the other side of such other thing. They just go, I hate it. And I'm just, I hate you.
Why you got hate, Greg? It's Valentine's Day. You gotta love.
Nope, not happening.
Thank you, Greg, for your time this morning. You can follow me on Twitter as soon as this switches. There we go. You can follow me on Twitter at Defective Naruto. You can follow the work that me and Greg do on our website at missionstartpodcast.com. You can find this podcast and this video on our website as well as our YouTube channel at youtube.com/missionstartpodcast1. Also, let me pop this up as well. If you enjoy this podcast, like I said before, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher. Come on, don't do this to me now. There we go. Okay. If you enjoy listening to convention review talk in terms of like critiquing a convention, but also talking about our experiences at a convention we just been to, I highly suggest to go check out our other podcast called The Conover, which is also on iTunes, Stitcher, and also on the website. And if you love to listen about comic book news, entertainment, movies, anything that wise, go please check out Jeremy's podcast called The Rollin' 20s, which you also can find on iTunes, Stitcher, and on our website. And soon all our podcasts will be on our YouTube channel one day, but soon. Anyways, with that, hang on. Come on, you. There it goes. And with that, we see you guys next time.